Hey everybody, it's Constance the Reader. Welcome back to my channel. Today is the 1st of July and it is disgustingly hot and humid in Virginia. So I figured, you know what? Let me go ahead and do my wrap up for June. I am going to include everything. I'm not going to do 2 separate videos this time. So I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible and do some timestamps for y'all just in case like you don't care, and it's okay if you don't. We'll probably do manga first. Yeah, let's do manga first. We'll do everything else last. And yeah, it was a really great reading month. I read a lot of really good things in the month of June, so I'm pretty proud of myself. Without further ado, let's get into the manga I read in the month of June. So I managed to read volumes 3 and 4 of My Love Mix-Up. As I've mentioned, I'm still really enjoying the series. It's very funny. I love the characters. I love our main character, Aoki and Ida. I really like Hashimoto. I'm hoping that I get to see more of Hashimoto. I know that she's not like the main character, but I just think that she's so cute, and I liked her trying to defend Aoki at the like Christmas night market where he was working. I just think everybody is just so freaking adorable in this story. And yes, if you watched my last video, I already have volume 8. So I need to go ahead and continue on reading this in the month of July because I'm just really loving My Love Mix-Up. It's just so cute and I'm enjoying myself. I also read volumes 4 and 5 of Spy Family. This one where we meet, is it Bond? Is that his name? Oh my God, the dog is so fucking adorable. His backstory, it made me cry a little. It was so sweet. Just in general, I'm really enjoying Spy Family. I do think that maybe one day I will give the anime a try again. It's not that I didn't like the anime, I just was like, I'd rather read it. But this is really good. I recommend Spy Family. It's been very fun. I can't wait to read Tista by the same mangaka, so hopefully that will be coming in July. But so far so good for Spy Family. I also finally finished Our Dreams at Dusk, and this ended up being an amazing series. So this is a 4-series manga. It was very good. We're following our main character Tasuku, and that's him here. Basically, the whole point of this is our main character is in like middle school, high school, something like along those lines, and some people in his class find his cell phone. They go scrolling through his stuff and they see that he went on a gay porn site or has pictures of naked men on his phone. He's completely embarrassed. Obviously, he has not told anybody that he may be gay. He does not know for sure. And it really messes with him mentally, so much so that he contemplates killing himself because he really doesn't want to be bullied. On his way, like kind of wandering the city, he runs into someone's son. So this is a person who created this like little mini community, this little mini town where other people of the LGBTQA plus community have come together to have community, to have a safe space, and to meet each other and to make friendships and other relationships. He struggles because he still is not ready to come out, especially not to his family, but he's slowly making friends, finding himself, meeting these really great people, many of them older than him, who he's seeing what life could be. Some of our main characters, I can't remember this couple's name, but obviously they get married at the end. The way that this final volume ended, I was crying so hard. This ended up being such a beautiful story in general. I know that I was like really disliking the second volume, not like the volume itself, but one of the characters, like the main person that our protagonist is having to deal with. I couldn't stand that person, but it's okay because at the end of the day, the story is beautiful. The artwork is gorgeous. I don't know if this will ever or has ever been animated, but if you read this, absolutely expect beautiful, imaginative artwork that I would absolutely love to see animated on the screen. To watch would be so absolutely beautiful. And I will say, you know, trigger warning for some homophobia, some transphobia. It's a beautiful story with really amazing and interesting characters. I would highly recommend Our Dreams at Dusk. I also read The Witch and the Night Will Survive. This was a really cool manga for a first volume. I really enjoyed it. It definitely kind of, towards the end, it reminded me of that time I got reincarnated as a slime. something really wild happens with our main character, and I thought that it was going to be a very dark story from then on out, but it actually turned out not to be. So I have a feeling, and I wonder if this is going to be a lot like that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Our main character, he has to build up the kingdom that pretty much almost every single person was killed in the town that he lived in, which is really sad. And towards the end of this, it did kind of give me that vibe of like, okay, there's going to be some moments that are, I'm sure there's going to be more stuff that's going to come up that's like intense, you know, battles, having to protect yourself, but you see like the community that's being built that he has to now like start. He is the leader now after his parents have been killed. And I don't know, I just think it was a really nice story. So I'm excited to read the second volume. That should be coming out sometime this year, I believe. I'll put the date up somewhere. But I liked this. If you've read The Night and the Witch Will Survive, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I thought it was pretty good. I'm excited to read the rest of it. Next up, Game Between the Suits. Okay, this was interesting. Now I want to start off by saying I'm not like a smut girly. Now, but at the same time, I've read smut before, okay? I read Santa smut during Christmas, all right? So I know what the fuck goes down in some of these stories, all right? People were having sex with Santa Claus. Okay, it doesn't get, you know, no one's having sex with Santa Claus in this, but I didn't like this guy. But I'm going to continue on with the series. I have the first 3 volumes. Basically, it's an office romance. We're following our main character, our main female character, Sayo. She is committed to her job, so much so that she will answer a phone call in the middle of coitus, in the middle of a little knocking boot situation. And all the guys are like really shitty towards her. Like, oh, if you love it so much, why don't you marry it? You should fuck your job. A little extreme, in my opinion. Why don't we just have a conversation about this afterwards? But who am I? She takes all the overtime. She does all the cases that she can. I don't actually know what she does, to be honest. I think they do mention it. But she is a workaholic. And the men in the company are kind of shitty towards her. And she's just like, I don't care. I'm happy. I like my job. If I come home to an empty house, it is what it is. Enter this dude whose name is Ryoichi, I think. I don't like him very much. Kind of right off the bat, sexual harassment. And that's where I can't follow along with everyone, because I know that there's some smutty books that have like a kink in them that like, that's not for me. Like I can't just read that and be like, oh yeah, that's totally fine. Some things are just too much for me. Him sexually harassing her right off the bat before they come to an agreement really made me want to put the manga down, because I'm like, okay, you're meeting her for the first time, you have to shadow her, and you think that it's just okay to try to kiss her in the car and push up on her. Now every time she says no, does he stop? Yes, but that's not even the first or the second or the third time. He keeps trying to make out with her in public, at the job, in the car. And that was even before they started having sex. So I didn't like that. I don't know where we're going to go with this. I'm going to continue to read it, like I said, but y'all gotta tell me, have y'all read this whole series? Do you think it gets better in terms of like the male character? Because I don't really like him that much. And now he's trying to kind of make her jealous. Because I might not want to fucking date you, dude. Okay, well, whatever. Not my favorite. Not my favorite one that I read this month, but it's okay. Like I said, we're going to keep going. Maybe I won't despise him so much, but I know I'm going to continue to like her because I really like her. She's awesome. Also, one that I don't have with me because I read it in Barnes & Noble was Ayashimon Volume 2. It was really good. I did order it from Right Stuff, so I'll be getting it soon. Nice continuation of the story. I believe there's only 1 volume left, and that's coming out sometime this year. I can't wait to finish it, but I'm sad that it, isn't going to continue on for too long because I think the art style is really, really cool. And I think the story is interesting as well. But next, Ghost Reaper Girl. I really love this. So I picked this up on a whim. Obviously, I have 4 volumes, but I didn't expect to read Ghost Reaper Girl. This is so effing good. This was just so freaking cute. It was not what I expected, because honestly, like, this artwork is really cool, but I don't know what I was expecting. But I loved it. You're following our main character, Chloe Love. She is a 28-year-old woman, by the way. I know she looks pretty young there, but she's 28, which made me very happy. We're talking adults here right now. Basically, she is like a D-list actress. She's been in some interesting movies. One of them being Ghost Reaper Girl. She's on another audition. She's really determined to nail this, but all of a sudden, the dude... She thinks he is trying to do a casting couch situation, but in reality, he is possessed by these evil spirits that broke out of hell, and they want to now possess her. They want to take her down and possess her. She's got to fight for her life to get out of here. And then she meets Kai, who is basically like, I guess he also is kind of like a spirit in a way, but he's like a protector of hell. And he has been tasked to try to wrangle all of these spirits, evil spirits, back to hell, but he also knows who Chloe Love is. He's obsessed with her. He basically becomes her, you know, weapon, a scythe, and he makes her outfit like Ghost Reaper Girl from the movie. She's like a goth magical girl, which I think is very cool. We also meet this character. It's just like, so far it's been really nice. So I did do some research. So the series is on hiatus. Right now it's 4 volumes. And I don't know if it will continue. I haven't gotten to the 4th volume to see like how that ends, like if it's a cliffhanger or if it's kind of like settled until the creator is back to creating again, because they had a health issue. So right now they're not creating anything as of what I read like a week ago. But I will be absolutely reading this in the month of July. I want to finish the last 3 volumes that I own. I hope that it doesn't end on too much of a cliffhanger, because honestly, I think I'm really going to love this series in general. But yes, Ghost Reaper Girl, I recommend it. If you've read it, let me know what you thought in the comments. If you like it, if you agree that I need to read that immediately, let me know. Now, I don't know if I talked about this on my last video, because I may have finished it before I filmed my wrap up and just added it. I'm just going to include this just an off chance I didn't. I also listened to A Shadow Crown, the Halfling Saga. This is the 2nd book in the series. It was so good. I highly recommend listening to it if you can. I also was hoping that this would be a duology, and it's not. I'm going to accept that for now, because I thought the first book was so good. I enjoyed the 2nd book. I do think that the 2nd book was good. I know some people said it was a little bit too slow for them, but I felt like the pace was still really good. That's just my opinion. I rated this 5 stars. I don't know when the 3rd book comes out. Let's see if Goodreads will tell me if they've got her. No, they don't. They don't have the 3rd book and like when it might be released, but that's okay. This is one where, even though I listen to it as an audiobook, I genuinely want to own the books moving forward, because I think the covers are really, really pretty, especially the Barnes & Noble edition for the 2nd one, The Shadow Crown. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I passed up getting the other one, the first one, from Books A Million. It was on sale, like it was clearance. I was like, technically I don't need this, so I probably shouldn't buy it. So I put it down, but it is good, I promise you. I also listened to The Guest List by Lucy Foley for the Naruto TBR challenge. Now, this was supposed to be a prompt that was like about a vacation. I think I chose the wrong Lucy Foley book, but I'm going to count it because technically there are 2 characters in this book who are parents, and I feel like they got a vacation from their kids. And it was really good. So this is the first Lucy Foley book I've actually listened to completion. I have The Paris Apartment. I started listening to it. I didn't finish it. I rated this 3 stars. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't see the twist coming of like who like the problem person was for every single goddamn person in this book, but it was very good. It's this really fabulous couple is getting married. The man is an actor. The woman, I'm not really sure what the woman does. I can't remember her name, but basically she gets a really good deal to have her wedding at this castle in like Ireland or Scotland. I can't remember where. And she invites some friends, she invites some family, some people are some frenemies, but there is a bunch of like backstory going on with this couple and then the guests that they have. And those are the different point of views that we actually listen to and read in this book. There's a couple that's married, and the husband is like best friends with the soon-to-be wife. Way too close for comfort. His wife seems like a really cool person, personally. The bridesmaid is the soon-to-be wife's younger sister, Olivia. She's got some issues going on. That was a big deal. Didn't see that coming. Oh my God, there's so much going on in this story, but essentially, like, it's kind of doomed from the start. 100%. And the groom is pretty shady. Like, we get this backstory about when he was younger, because a lot of his schoolmates were there from this all-boys academy that his father, like, was the headmaster for. It was definitely giving skull and crossbones type shit. Like, something is gross going on here, and something really bad happens. Like, a kid is killed at some point. We find out what happened there. So I really liked this. I am going to give Lucy Foley some more opportunities to maybe wow me, because like I said, I do have the Paris apartment. It was good. I definitely liked listening to it. I think that it's a good way to read it when you have so many different POVs. And they did a good job because there was a bunch of different voice actors going on, and that's nice. Next, Razorblade Tears by S.A. Crosby. This is my second read of a work by S.A. Crosby, and wow. Phenomenal again. Phenomenal again. 5 stars, just like the last book. This has now become an auto by author for me, period. I will 100% be reading everything else that S.A. Crosby has written and everything that S.A. Crosby will write. Basically, you're following these 2 men. One is a black man named Ike. One is a white guy named Buddy Lee. They had 2 sons, Derek and Isaiah, who were married. They were 2 men that were married, and they were murdered. They do not feel as though the police are doing anything to solve this murder, and they decide to get vengeance. Ike and Buddy Lee are felons, you know, so they've been around the block before. They know how to put the paws on people, right? And yeah, they fucking go. I can't even think of a movie to compare it to. I mean, it is fucking scorched earth up in here. Okay, it is wild. Listening to this, once again, the narrator is fantastic. I would highly recommend listening to every single, I would highly recommend listening to this as an audiobook. It's fantastic. And the other thing I really like about it is it takes place in the place where I live in Virginia. So all of the, 95, Chesterfield, Powhite Parkway, Powhatan, Richmond, Chesterfield County, like all those places, like I know where they are. So I could even better visualize what was going on, which I really, really liked. I recommend S.A. Crosby 1000%. Please read anything that this author writes, because I do think that it's fucking amazing. So do it. And I'm going to add this one because I literally just finished listening to it today. I started this yesterday. I had thought, let me just knock it out tonight and I can say that I read it in June. I basically woke up this morning with only an hour left. So I was like, I'm going to finish it today and I'm going to talk about it on my wrap up. And that was Diva by Cheryl Lee Ralph. This is such a good audiobook. I would highly recommend it. I got it from NetGalley. Obviously, Cheryl Lee Ralph narrates it, and she has an amazing voice. I could listen to her all day. I love her on Abbott Elementary. I found that this memoir was really good because I didn't know all the things that she's done. I have never seen Dreamgirls before. I didn't know that she was a part of that Broadway play. I didn't know how much Broadway she had done. So it was really enlightening because I learned so much about her. I think she's very inspirational. I like the takes that she gives. She talks about why being a diva is not a bad thing, and that a lot of people try to paint you that way, but that's not the kind of diva she is. And she encourages you to be a diva as much as possible. And I liked it. I would highly recommend it. It's very short. Even I listen to stuff at 2 times the speed. I think before I changed it to 2 times the speed, I think it was less than 5 hours to finish it, right? So I definitely think that it's something that you could read in a day if you wanted to. And the way that she tells a story, the way that she talks about her life, she's so enthusiastic. You can tell she is a performer. She definitely is amazing. So it made me want to keep listening. Like, she has the kind of voice and the way she has like inflection in her voice and stuff and tells a story. It's just amazing. You can't stop listening. I still think that the format of a physical book would be great, but I definitely think you should listen to it. If you're going to read this, listen to it. I highly recommend it, and it was 5 stars. And the last 2 books that I read in the month of June, I read The Love Con. This was really good. I think I may have given this 4 stars, possibly 5. I can't remember, but I recommend this. This one was a really good romance. I think the thing I liked the most about this was that you didn't have that third act miscommunication trope that always just kind of feels like, why did y'all have that issue? You know, all the work that you've done throughout the book, and you're telling me that this is the one thing that, like, what the fuck? Like, you're gonna blow up like that? Case in point, example, the one that I hate the most was Get a Life, Chloe Brown, I think it is. Chloe's book and the Brown Sisters trilogy. The fact that Red, and maybe this is a thing, maybe it's because he was such an unlikable character. I hated Red. He sucked. Oh no, I saw her list of things that she wanted to do and like get a boyfriend or have sex or something. Like, she used me for my penis and I'm just going to ghost her and be a fucking asshole. It's like that kind of like really drastic way that like sometimes they make people behave in romance novels, and I'm like, wow, I don't root for y'all. Chloe, get someone better please, because Red sucks ass. It wasn't like that with Kenyan Cameron. Kenyan Cameron are best friends. They've been best friends since they were basically preteen teenagers. When Cam was coming from a really bad living situation with his parents, it was his first day of school, and Kenya was the first and only person who approached him at the lunchroom and sat with him. They got to know each other. He ended up moving in with her and her family, and they've been best friends ever since. But they've always kind of liked each other. I think they always liked each other the same amount, but Cam, I think, has been like way more blatant. Like, everybody around them knows that Cam really loves Kenya. He convinces Kenya to join a cosplay competition show. She has been away for a few months, and where we pick up in the beginning of the book is basically like she's in the final 2. She's about to go back home and start on the final look, and there's this particular judge who is, I don't want to call her racist, but she definitely has something against Kenya, like the only black woman who was on the show. And I feel like she wanted to like take her down by trying to imply that she doesn't have a man. Well, guess what, bitch? Cam is my man. So it's kind of a fake dating trope, but Cam is all the way in, okay, because he wants to date her, right? They already lived together. He had recently broken up with his other girlfriend before Kenya even left, I think, or right when she had left, and he didn't really have a chance to tell her. So there's fake dating, but it kind of turns into real dating. They get a little risky, and I loved it. I loved her friends. Didn't really like her family. Her parents were kind of frustrating in the beginning. And I feel like the way this ended was so unique because it did not end the way that I thought it was going to, and I liked that, and I felt like it had a really realistic kind of like situation of like, okay, if this was a scenario, this is what would happen, and I liked that. And they didn't have this big miscommunication. It wouldn't have even made sense considering how long they've known each other. He knows her, she knows him. I did kind of find her little moment where okay, actually, let me back up. They kind of do in a way, but it's not in the way that it could have gone in other books, right? Kenya starts to think that Cam is only doing the things that he's doing for her because he feels indebted to her because she let him move in with them and took him out of this bad situation, when that's not the case. But, you know, it didn't happen the way that it could have happened, which is good. So because of that, this is why the book is so fucking good to me, and I would highly recommend it, and I think it's awesome. So fucking read this book. And last, this was my pick for the book club with my mom and my sister, and it was A History of Wild Places by Shay Earnshaw. I obviously picked this because it was book of the month. I've had this on my shelf as soon as I started book of the month, and I was like, let me go ahead and read it. Pretty much all of my picks for the book club are all of the books I still own from Book of the Month Club that I refuse to get rid of until I read them first. And this was good. I think I rated this like 4 stars. Basically, you are following like our first main character, who is Travis. He's a clairvoyant, and he has been asked by his friend Ben, who's a cop, to look into this missing persons case of a woman named Magazine James. Magazine James went missing 5 years ago. No one has heard from her. They just found her abandoned car and a few little things that he gets to use, like, you know, for his clairvoyant powers. And he's tasked with going off and finding her. And before he leaves, her mother says this one word, pastoral. So we get a little bit of background on this place that was called Pastoral, kind of founded like really early on, but then it was like an abandoned commune that then got taken back up by like some hippies in the 60s and 70s. And then nobody ever heard from the compound ever again. No one ever saw anybody. No one knows what happened there. And fast forward, we kind of see what's going on in Pastoral now and find out some dark, twisted things are going on. I went into this knowing that there was going to be magical realism, and I thought it was just going to end at what was going on with Travis, you know, being a clairvoyant, but there was a little bit more going on, and then there was a twist, and there was another twist, and I did not see that coming, and I really, really liked the ending because I think that was kind of realistic. I think I would do what our characters at the end of the book did. I think I would make that choice too, because after everything they'd been through, I don't think I could live any other way, if that makes sense, without giving too much away. So with that being said, The History of Wild Places is really good. I would recommend this. It is spooky, it's eerie, it has different POVs, so you're following several different people, which I do like. It makes the story go by a bit faster, and I thought it was good. This would be interesting to see as a movie or a show. I don't know how they would do it once you find out like the twist. I don't know. You'd have to be very creative. So I would love to see it if this ended up as some type of TV show or movie, but either way, it was good. I would recommend. And that is it. That is what I read in the month of June. I hope that this video wasn't too long. Like I said, I'll add timestamps if you want to skip around, if you want to listen to just the manga stuff, if you want to hear the other stuff, or if you want to, you know, if you're interested, listen to the whole thing. That would be great. I would appreciate it. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Any of these that I read that you really liked, any of these that I read that you hated, anything that I've read and kind of started that you think that I should prioritize to read, let me know. I would love it. And thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked the video, please like the video. If you like it, subscribe to the notification bell. Follow me on other social media, although apparently we can only see 600 tweets a day now. If you're not gonna pay for Twitter, who's paying for Twitter? Not I. So hopefully, if you do follow me on Twitter, you'll eventually see anything I ever post. Who knows? Hopefully that ends. Hopefully that ends. But thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Goodbye.